Uh, Hello there. My name is Abhi,
My name is Yaz.
My name's Riaz.
and today the topic of discussion is truth, honesty, and is it okay to lie?
So I remember a story that my parents told me about this woman that they met. And this woman had a partner with which she had 4 children. And one day the husband and the father in the situation decided to get up and leave the household with the intention of never returning. Now, this mother, in what I believe was her good intentions, decided that she did not want to tell her kids the honest and full story, and instead, every month, would write letters herself, pretending to be the father, and mail them to the house so that the children could receive these letters and open them up. And these letters would, talk about where the father was, how he missed his children, how he cared for them, how he loved them, and how he intended to return as soon as possible. And I believe she probably did this so that the children would feel loved and cared about. It wouldn't bring up awkward situations for them in school or elsewhere. And if anyone ever asked them, why isn't your father around, they would have a story to tell them. And they wouldn't feel like outsiders. They wouldn't feel like they were the only person without a father or weren't loved. So hearing that story, do you guys think the mother, do you think what she did was right or what she did was wrong?
I don't think it's quite clear to say, whether it's right or wrong. I think it's when I heard that story, I thought it was quite bittersweet, really. I thought it was sweet because the mother did what she did because she loved her children and she wanted to protect them from a really quite nasty truth. But at the same time, I thought it's quite bitter, not only for the children who had to live through a lie, but their mother had to write these letters every day, and she had to do this, with the imagination that the father is coming back, and she did not allow herself to progress and move forward.
Yeah. See, when I first heard the story, I thought something similar, that perhaps she was writing these letters not only for the children, but also for herself, so that, so in her mind, she can still have this hope that the father or the husband would one day return. And I don't think it was fair to herself. In terms of her children, she's building up this idea of their father in their mind, and one day, sooner or later, this idea has to be shattered. And my next question really is do people have a right to the truth? Because these children, maybe when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, wouldn't really be able to formulate their own opinions. So maybe at that time, it was easier to tell them a story. But, when they're coming into their teenage years and, maybe towards, the end of their school years, they're now people who are able to formulate their own opinions. They can, make their own decisions, and I would argue have a right to the truth, be it hurtful or be it pleasant. What do you guys think? Do people have a right to the truth?
So, in my opinion to this story, I feel, wouldn't you rather be told the truth immediately rather than being told the truth later on? Now, in the story that you told us, imagine you as the child. Imagine if you were told the truth at 18. Your whole life you would be thinking, why didn't my mum tell me the truth when I was a kid? I feel I could be mature enough. They may feel like they could be mature enough. Whereas the mother decided to tell the truth at 18, the immediate thought they'll be thinking is, my mother lied to me.
Yeah.
My mother feels like our relationship doesn't have enough trust within it.
Yeah.
To enable us to be open with one another. Hence, I feel that could be a scenario that I feel that could exist if that happened. And that's why I feel it should have been better to be told the truth immediately. And hence, it is rightful to be told the truth.
Yeah.
But the question is, when would we be telling the truth?
Yeah. So, clearly we've identified that we think honesty is the best policy. Our real question is, when is honesty the best policy? Or more like, when in this particular situation is honesty the best policy? But, I'd like to raise another question on that note. We've talked about honesty being a good thing and people having, a right to the truth. But all of us in our lives have told, little white lies because the lies are often more convenient than the truth. And is it okay to tell these little white lies? What do you guys think about that?
I think the truth is an important thing, but sometimes people are not ready for the truth. I think sometimes people's mindsets are quite closed, and certain things, the truth can sometimes hurt people and have negative impacts on these people and the relationships between two individuals.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's always quite clear cut to say, you know, the truth is always the best policy, because you know, there's certain situations where you're doing better by not telling the truth, and whilst you might feel worse by not doing that, there's a guilty feeling, and you know, it's quite bad to lie. At the end of the day, you might be protecting an important relationship, even if it's based on a few lies.
What do you make of that, Abhi?
Now, to make a stable relationship work, wouldn't you need to be telling the truth? If there are lies, maybe these white lies are fine, because, say for example, you don't want to speak to a person on one day, you might not like their dress, you don't want to offend them, so you're going to put that in a nice and positive way, and hence we call that a white lie. But imagine if it's something serious enough, like as we know, there is cheating that occurs. If it's something that serious and people are masking that this is occurring within their relationship and telling a lie blatantly to the partner that there's nothing going on, that I love you, hence that is portrayed as a lie, wouldn't it be better to be open, honest immediately if you've cheated, if you don't love them, because that could either make the relationship fruitful and you'd again make a stable relationship.
Yeah. So I think trust is the foundation of all relationships, really. And what you talked about specifically there is cheating. And I think cheating is probably something that's very hard to come back from in a relationship and can be a deal breaker. But rather than the cheating, the way that you approach, the aftermath of that. So let's say that you have cheated. If you come and tell your partner straight away, listen, I've made this mistake, but I want to be honest with you now. I've been dishonest with you in the past, but I'm laying all my cards on the table and I'm here and I want to work that out. I think, to me, that's better than someone cheating on me, lying about it, and me potentially finding out myself several years down the line and me starting to question every single little thing that they've ever done. It's going to shatter my interpretation of that person, and I'm going to think all of it was fake because of what I found out.
I think you're going on the assumption that lies are found out in the end. And I think humans tend to tell lies with the idea that, these lies are never going to be found out. And sometimes they never are. So if we compare, a relationship where the partner was cheating and it was found out, and he told the truth early on, and fair enough, they may have got back together, or we compare a relationship where the lie was not found out, and they continuously lived the lie. Now, it may have not been as fruitful as the first option, but at the same time, there's a third outcome where the both two individuals separate.
Yeah.
So, I would argue that it's not straightforward.
So, what I would say to that is that the problem in the relationship isn't the cheating itself. It's the cheating is a symptom of the problem. And by never really discussing the fact that you've cheated, you're never discussing the underlying problem that's led to the cheating. And you might remain together, but because you've never discussed these underlying topics, the relationship is probably never going to be fruitful. Abhi, I think you have something to say.
And that's why I would like to add, within a relationship, if there is anything going on within that relationship, communication is the key.
Yeah, 100%.
And communication comes from the truth. If you're unhappy with the other person's behavior, with the way they're acting with you, you need to be open and honest. Now, if you're not open and honest, that would lead to, again, a breakdown within the relationship, breakdown within the foundations of the relationship. You've got something wrong, hence you're more likely to be cheating on them. And as Yaz said, to build that relationship, make it stable, it needs to be open and honest from day one. If you communicate openly, then I don't see any problems occurring.
Yeah.
And even if you are dissatisfied with your partner, you need to be honest about that.
Yeah.
Because if the relationship is not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Yeah. And if they never know, they never have a chance to work on it. You know, you're there being dissatisfied with the relationship, but you've not given them a chance to improve on the things that you're unhappy about. So how are they supposed to know? And how are they supposed to work on these things? That's my opinion, really. So I think we've talked about a range of topics today. It's been a pretty fruitful conversation. Hopefully we'll pick it up next time. Thank you guys for listening, and if you have any comments or feedback, please do let us know.